Hey guys, this is Raghu Reddy here, and welcome to the show. On this episode, I have an awesome guest, and her name is Marla Escobar. Marla, welcome to the show.
Hello, Raghu. It's very nice to be here on your show. It's an honor to be invited to this type of interview.
Well, it's wonderful that you're on the show, Marla, and thanks for coming on. And Marla, where are you located?
I'm all the way out here in province of Iloilo in the Philippines. So it's part of the Visayas region, if there are Filipinos out there watching.
Wow, well, that's wonderful to hear that. So, Marla, what do you do?
I'm actually a financial advisor or insurance agent. So we actually offer our financial services after analyzing the state of one's financial health up to a comfortable retirement. So my niche is basically for business owners and individual professionals. So we study how can they actually provide well for their families and be able to retire comfortably in the future.
Wow, that's really fantastic, awesome. It's nice to hear that. And Marla, since how many years have you been doing this awesome job?
I'm already going on my 13th year this September.
Wow, that's a long time. That's more than a decade. 13 years of awesome journey. Wow, fantastic. So, how has your journey been for the last 13 years?
Actually, it's been pretty exciting because I made some major moves as well. I actually was here before in Iloilo, and then when I was invited to the business, if I may mention the company, it's PruLife UK. It's Prudential all around Asia, but here in the Philippines, they call it PruLife UK. I moved to Manila after managing a small resort here and a farm. So it was a totally different life. And then when I transferred to Manila, it became a corporate life. So I had to make a lot of adjustments, basically because I also was born and raised there. I actually thought that I would do better in the network that where I actually grew up. So it was good. There were a lot of successes and triumphs, and I was able to travel to different places. But eventually, I also really I had that deeper desire in me to come back here in the province because life is much simpler. So since my managers were actually considering expanding their business, they actually were thinking maybe we should consider putting up a team all the way in Iloilo. So we're trying to start out a small team here. It's of course nothing is easy before it is hard. So I am still in that adjustment stage where we're trying to build a team. So I'm doing recruiting, training, and still selling, and as well as continuing to prospect for new clients here.
Wow, that's wonderful to hear, and you're doing a fantastic job. So, when you started out, 13 years back, the environment was very different. So, what was it like, in those good old days when you started? Like, you might have faced a lot of struggle. So, how did you overcome the struggle?
Yeah, if you can imagine, I came from here, so I was just holding on to my meager savings, and I had to figure out. Of course, I had to pray and discern if this is actually a career for me. But it came to a point when I was down to my pesos and cents in the bank. I couldn't even withdraw it in the machine because it was a very minimal. But I prayed so hard. I thought I already prayed for this. I discerned for this. I made the decision to come over to Manila just because of the career. It should work for me. So after a lot of cooperating with Grace, I believe it was a blessed time learning the ropes. And I actually enjoyed talking to people. Even before the career, I'm always interested in learning about other people's lives, how they live fully. They try to put together their lives that will make a meaningful one. So since I was talking to people every day, it became very interesting for me. And I guess the struggle is only the beginning. Of course, you choose your stress, you choose your battles. And it became difficult at a certain point because you wanted to reach your goals, you wanted to reach the peak of your career. And I actually thought it was a great journey. But deep inside me, there was a real desire to come back here to the province. So now it's continuing to be exciting because it's a totally different environment again, a different culture. I had to make a lot of adjustments. The purchasing attitude of people is also different. So I had to make a lot of flexible changes within my style, within how I understand people. So today it's still an exciting journey. So it makes it, not sure if you've heard about, it's not really work when you enjoy it. It's a lot of fun too. So if you're enjoying the journey anyway, it's not so difficult anymore. The difficulty is there, but it's just it's part of life. So I welcome it.
Well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, what's your driving force? What really drives you? What's your big why?
My basic why is basically Raghu. I'm single and my parents have retired, and it's they call us the sandwich generation because we continue to try to support our parents, and if there are people to help in the next generation, you do that as well. So we're sort of in the middle of things. And basically, that's my mission, to be able to provide for them and the people around this place. There are many people who are in need, basically. So if you can be a blessing to your community and by sharing your resources, and also being able to share the career itself to other people, because it can also bless their lives and their families. It became a whole journey in itself, that you're able to bless your family, you're able to bless other people, and of course make good profits as well for yourself.
Wow, that's wonderful to hear. Wonderful. So, Marla, 13 years back when you came, and right now, up to now in your journey, you have seen a lot of ups and downs. So, but with this crisis today, the COVID-19 crisis, everything has changed. The future is definitely not going to be like the past. So, the question is, how are you geared up to face those new challenges and serve your clients better?
Right. Actually, I'm very proud of my company because they were able to quickly adapt and adjust on how can we actually continue to support our agents when this is the situation. So they were able to gather so many of us, thousands of us all across Asia, and they talked to us just to be able to support us and assure us that they're right behind us, they're doing everything that they can do. So we're into non-face-to-face selling. So it's still virtual selling now online, and it became borderless, meaning if before I was only selling in Iloilo, now I can sell in Manila, in Davao, in Zamboanga, different parts of the country. And they've made it possible to do e-signature, filling up forms online, etc. So now that the opportunity is there, it became a larger scope, a larger territory. So I didn't realize that the opportunity would actually even grow further. So it's just about continuing to organize your plans on how to do these things step by step and teach it also to my teammates so that we can also learn together how to do the business in this kind of environment.
Well, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. So, Marla, what's your vision for the future?
My vision? Well, I think this is actually a business that can continue to thrive even amidst the pandemic, because it's very important for people to take care of their financial health. It's always taught to us that we actually should be like a whole person, healthy in all aspects of our lives, whether it's spiritual, it's social, it's intellectual, and it's professional. Basically more. Well, it's all a balance, including your financial health. So for people to be able to live their lives fully, I believe we can be part of that group that can actually be a blessing to others. So it's important for us here to grow in the province so that people will realize that this is something that can really help them, that can really bless their families. And if they get into the career, that would be good as well. Whether they be our clients or our colleagues, it will always be a blessing. So if more people know about taking care of their financial health, taking care of thinking about their retirement and whatever may happen in the future, showstoppers, accident, sickness, of course, even death. We should try to be prepared in whatever ways. So my basic vision here is for us to grow bigger so that we can be a blessing to more people.
Well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, what would be your advice to the newcomer to the field?
Newcomer. I believe since this is a thriving business in the pandemic, I think it would be good to encourage people to join us, especially those who are looking for careers that can actually work. I mean, it's very sad that so many people have lost their jobs, but this is a kind of career that can actually continue to work, pandemic or not. So we were actually thinking if the things get back somehow, we can actually continue to see people face to face. It can even be more powerful as a career and as a blessing to clients, because if you can do both, you can work from home. Sometimes you do not face-to-face selling, and then you can continue to do face-to-face selling. It will be a great combination. Nobody thought about doing everything online, including our trainings. So now that we can actually train people online, it can actually train the whole country all together. It's working very well because our resources or our manpower somehow can actually do other things, instead of just keeping on training other people. Since there is already training from Manila, we can already avail of that and then use our time more for selling and prospecting and recruiting, etc.
Wow, wow, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. So, Marla, if someone wants your services or someone wants to join your team as a financial advisor, how they can get in touch with you?
Right. My name is Marla Escobar on Facebook, and maybe you can see the logo right at the back. That's Jasper Financial. That's the name of our Facebook page as well. So feel free to contact me in those two social media platforms.
Wow, that's awesome, awesome, fantastic, fantastic. So, Marla, it was wonderful having this conversation with you and learning about your journey for the last 13 years. And you're making such a big difference in a lot of people's lives, and not only in people's lives, but not only in your client's life, but also in other financial advisors' life. So, I wish you all the very best for your future, to not only grow yourself and make a bigger impact, but also to grow a bigger team of financial advisors and make them world class and reach out to many more people and make a huge difference in the community there.
Thank you very much, Raghu. I appreciate the time. I appreciate the chance to share how our career can actually bless others. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being on the show.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.